Before we dive right in, I asked our curators to indulge me, and they both were so gracious and said yes. I don't know if you've heard of this particular poet. She's done a couple of things. Her name is Amanda Gorman. Woo! Just a few things here or there. And she released a new piece today. The title of which is Hymn for the Hurting. Okay. And of course, I'm not going to sound like her, y'all don't hear me, but imagine me on the steps of the Capitol in a beautiful yellow coat and red headband, ready to go. Whew. Everything hurts. Our hearts shadowed and strange, minds made muddied and mute. We carry tragedy, terrifying and true, and yet none of it is new. We knew it as home, as horror, as heritage. Even our children cannot be children, cannot be. Everything hurts. It's a hard time to be alive, and even harder to stay that way. We're burdened to live out these days, while at the same time blessed to outlive them. This alarm is how we know we must be altered, that we must differ or die, that we must triumph or try. Thus, while hate cannot be terminated, it can be transformed into a love that lets us live. May we not just grieve, but give. May we not just ache, but act. May our signed right to bear arms never blind our sight from shared harm. May we choose our children over chaos. May another innocent never be lost. Maybe everything hurts, our hearts shadowed and strange, but only when everything hurts, may everything change. Amanda Gorman. And now, I've learned a lot from these monthly living room sessions from our poets and artists.
So these poems, or this poem, because it's a long one, I just am excerpting from Settled Mural. And the reason I've been working on this for like the last year really is from funding from the San Francisco Art Commission, SFAC grant. If you are an artist living in the city, talk to me. I want to help you, if you're not applying for it, or even if you are, if you're applying for it already, let's talk about it. You should most definitely apply for it. But yeah, so I'm just going to read an excerpt from Mural. It's one thing to wake in the womb of 4 a.m. darkness and know who you are. It's another when light pollution leaks city through blinds, bends to flood, and to dream over before your squinted eyes. All it takes is silence to recognize a poem. Leaf climbs down from oak tree between 2 feet. Moment stretches like yawn into eyes crashing open, crossing the Bay Bridge west and calling it home. City like a mound of fireflies, each lit up in a grove. I am just another animal with a long shadow searching for the origin of my pain like any partner. An officer's hand over holster as a murder of crows scatter from lampposts like a dark dandelion blown by summer gin. All things were once someone's wish. Like how a square park plan with a wave-like geometric play structure in an old neighborhood is sometimes a triumph, and sometimes gentrification, and sometimes both, all depending on who you are.
If you've ever cared for somebody who lives with depression, this is for you. It's called The Abyss. It's a beautiful day, only you aren't part of any of it. I see you contemplating the water's edge, and you begin to slowly walk out into the water. I watch at first concerned, unconcerned, and then I hold my breath because I know it's coming. You walk slowly, intentionally, not stopping, until you pass the first break, and then the second. I start yelling, telling you not to go any further out, but you aren't listening. You just keep moving further away from shore until a large wave grabs you and pulls you further out. And I'm yelling for help, and people jump in and they paddle out. And I swim to where you are, and you go under just before I reach you. Only you don't fight it. And this strange force pulls me down too, and I fight and struggle to get to you. And the bubbles go up to the light toward freedom. But you and I, we keep going down, down, down into the abyss, where the light starts to fade and the sound is muffled. And I try to reach you, but you just give me that look as if to say, it's too hard. And my lungs feel like they're about to burst, but all I see in you is resignation. But I can't stop. I won't stop. I can't. And the bubbles go up to the light toward freedom. But you and I just keep going down, down, down into the abyss where the light is just a speck at the surface, and all I can hear are the sounds of my own struggle. And the rescuers busy themselves in a flurry of activity at the surface, while I negotiate with God, trading everything to bring you back. And the bubbles go up to the light toward freedom. But you and I, you and I, you and I don't.
So I've read for Transgender Day of Remembrance for the San Mateo County for the last 2 years. It's been a really fantastic honor. And each year I kind of feel silly being there, reading poems about myself. I don't have as many disenfranchisements as other people in the trans community do, because intersectionality exists, as we see with, London Breed refusing to march in the Pride Parade as a result of police officers not being able to walk in uniform when Pride started as a fucking riot. But those are my 2 cents. And so, as a result of reading at the Transgender Day of Remembrance, I wrote this poem. It's called Remembrance. My mother asks, Sinata Amal Kardi, did you get surgery on your chest? And I know what she's really asking is why. Because she can tell what shapes aren't there anymore. And I have to ask, what will this answer bring you? What does awareness bring us? What will the answer to this question bring me besides more scrutiny to what my bones have written on them etched in the womb? Every year the list of our names get longer and lives' cords are cut shorter, killed by those who love yet fear us, despite trying to be someone who you want to know. Are you waiting to know us? I could say wait for it, it'll be worth it, but fear asks, will you care? If I am not performing the body of my queer trauma, of what was done to this body, what am I? Besides feeding tongues and hungry mouths, and yet I am so hungry for what you have. For sharp plains eschewing softness that traverse my body, my leaves unfurling. How does the space my body take become a lie? I could answer, I feel like I have done everything you have asked of me within reason. Folded myself into a cornerless thing. No sharp edges to bump against to harm yourself, yet it's still not enough. The way that I am is abrasive to your sense of self, and I guess that's why we don't talk. But you would say that it's me, I am the problem, that I need to predict the rules of what runs this household, changing on the dime, the truth becoming something malleable. Fluid, what suited you best, and myself a tribute offering on the altar of what rotted there. My rot, the problem. My rot resulting from lack, so much lack, where there was nothing to enter but fester. I'm trying to be someone who you want to know, but I don't need to be, because we are divine. Our blood sacred, and that's why you want to drink it so badly. Are you aware? And I think you are, with each body slain. My mother asks, Sinata Amal Kardi, did you get surgery on your chest? And I know what she's really asking is how? How could you do that to me? My name is Dena Rod. Thank you.
If you keep it going for Dena Rod and every other poet tonight. Gabrielle DeGray, Kevin Dublin,